ask about just whenever you get those stops on Kelsey Mitchell and get the crowd
It's
with
a
how
good
great a
day,
player
man.
she
Kelsey
is.
tough.
She's so tough with the dribbles. Just talk about that moment and just in general how you played that full quarter
Man,
defense.
Kelsey's really tough. I think she's one of the best guards in our league. I don't necessarily always think that she gets her flowers, especially when Indiana is down players, and she steps in and steps into that scoring role. She's just really tough to stop at all three levels. So when I can get a stop in the mix, and you just try to make her night as hard as you can. You try to make every shot contested. She's gonna make hard ones, but when you can get those stops, you like, man, I did my job.
Gosh, you embrace the all we got, all we need mantra out there. So when there are newcomers like Steph Talbot, presumably Emma Mieseman coming in, how does team culture, particularly that mantra, adapt and evolve with such high-profile additions?
Yeah, I think our team culture and our environment in the locker room is super welcoming. So there doesn't really need to be adjustments. I think our locker room allows people to be themselves authentically, both off the court and on the court. And with on the court, Steph has played for Sandy for years with the Opal. So she fits into our schemes and to our offensive sets because they're not necessarily that different. They have the similar cadences to them as well. So, and Emma is an amazing player that's used to playing positionless basketball and open spacing with reads. And she's a great facilitator of offense too. I know everyone likes to talk about Emma scoring, but she literally is like Joker out there and can facilitate an entire offense, very similar to how Stewie runs the one for us at points. So our culture and our environment is going to remain the same, and we're just going to welcome those additions very happily.
Tosh, how intentional was it to get JJ involved early in this game?
Absolutely intentional. I mean, she almost had a double-double in her first game back after, like a month and a what was it? Do y'all know the exact time?
Around a month.
It was a little over a month. To almost have a double-double, to come out starting the game with a three. It was very intentional just to make her feel present and get her going early. But that's going to consistently be it. It was that way to start the season. We had to adjust and pivot without her, but that is always when you have an MVP caliber player, you throw the ball into her.
Staying on the bigs, just want to speak about Izzy's play. Izzy is phenomenal.
Talk about it. Talk about it.
5 and 5. Let's talk about what you saw from her tonight.
Man, she just keeps getting better every game, and I know y'all see my smile, and I would feel happy for her regardless, just as a teammate, because again of her story, what she's been through the last 3 years, and how she's triumphed, even how as like simple as it may seem to other people, but she got out of the brace this year. If you have noticed the last 2-3 years, she's been playing with a brace that has really limited her movement. And Izzy has always been a very mobile big. So for her to strengthen her body, focus on that with Miss Leslie here, to be put in a position to really just get back to who she is and fall into a system. She loves the system. She thrives in a system where there's clarity and she knows what she's doing. And she's just a workhorse. Like, she gets all the dirty rebounds. She's going to get into people's shit. She's going to set good screens and roll. So I'm just really overall happy for her that she is really finding like her place here in New York as well. It's just Isabelle.
And quick on that moment, just with Aaliyah when she had to be physical with Aaliyah, how tough Aaliyah was.
Yeah, y'all saw her talking her shit at the end with the and one. I said, clock it, baby, clock it. Yeah.
Tosh, Sabrina gets off to a slow shooting start, 1 of 9, but then scores 10 straight for you to really separate in that fourth quarter. How did you and your teammates just kind of pour into her after that start?
Man, Sab's so tough. It don't matter how Sab starts a game, we're still going to feed her. We're still going to expect her to get shots up. And when she sat a lot of that third quarter. So when she came in the fourth, she was very intentional. But that's just like also the gamer that Sab is. She's very consistent. There's no, oh, pity me. It's come in and do my job. And that's what she did, 10 straight points. And I think we do a really good job of finding her, but also just like feeding confidence into her. We don't ever panic when any of our players miss shots. It's just like, man, at some point they're going to fall.
Have you talked to Emma yet?
I sent her a message today, but my dog Emma, I love Emma for this reason. She really just beats to the sound of her own drum. When she wants to answer you, she's going to answer you. She protects her peace, her mental. She's big on family time and taking steps away because of how much she pours into basketball and how much she gives to her teams and to the organizations that she plays for. So I very much understand when Emma takes space away, and that's her time to do so. But, I still sent her a message today that I was excited, and we're ready and waiting for her to welcome her in New York, and she's going to fit in perfectly here.
I read that you found out during All-Star Weekend that
Yeah, I think players were saying slick shit to me, and I was like, man, I don't know nothing. But I think the rumors were kind of in the wind, and people were trying to see what my reaction was going to be. I was like, man, I don't know nothing. And then JK finally told me, I was like, man, I know something. But I was hype. We kind of known that we've been one of the teams that she's picked, and again, Emma beats to the sound of her own drum. So when Emma calls you and tells you she's coming, you just figure out the contract and you write it up, and you wait till she sign her name on that dotted line. Okay. We happy it's our dotted line, for sure.
Coming out of that All-Star break with 2 new additions.
Hey, I was just talking about you, girl. Yeah, did you? Oh, okay.
Coming out of the All-Star break with 2 new additions. Now, just what does that say about the commitment of this franchise to putting the best product on the court?
Let me talk. JK is one of the best GMs in this league. I know he likes to be like behind the scenes and all that stuff, and he loves to give flowers to us and not himself. But there is no other GM like him in the game. He does his due diligence, obviously, with even landing a player like Emma, right, where you don't know if you're going to be hurt, but you just make sure that she knows everything that we entail. The people that he plugged in here, she was very comfortable with as well. So that kind of benefits us when it comes to her deciding. So across the board, JK has done a really good job, but our organization as well. Like we're invested. Even talking about JJ and her break and going back to the Bahamas and how we take care of ours. Like I was not lying when I say this is a top tier organization.
A few more.
Tosh, going back to that, obviously talking about how JJ was able to spend her break ramping up, I guess. What have you noticed when it comes to how hard she sort of worked to get to a point where she's saying to us, I feel like my conditioning is at an 8, which is pretty impressive for how long she's been out.
Yeah, I mean, JJ's a pro's pro. I will say that in our locker room, we really have pros. So if there's ever an injury, you don't ever have to worry about whether we're doing our work. We're in here every day. JJ has been in here every day, long mornings, long afternoons, rehab, even going back home to the Bahamas. It was a good reset for her mentally, emotionally, and to see her family as well, to have her bucket filled and to come back. But she still worked her ass off while she was there. That's really hard if you know what a beach in the Bahamas look like to get your ass in the gym. That shit is hard. So when I tell you that dedication is there, it is there from her. And we're really happy to have her back and thankful that she worked her ass off to get back early.
Gosh, I want to ask you just about with Slim, because everyone talk about the sign, but
My poppy crowd.
not only with her shutting it down with the sign, but her shutting it down when Glorilla was dancing. Did y'all know she was doing choreography like that?
Listen, I know that Slim is my poppy crowd. That's my fellow crackhead with energy. So that's just how she always is. She's such a light. And I was just really happy for her over this weekend. I think that Slim should have been voted in by everyone just off rip. But, you know, God works in ways of just figuring and aligning things and making things right. So I'm just so happy for Slim that she had the opportunity. Obviously, she showcased during the game, but to embrace that whole moment for her was big. For the both of us, to know where we came from and how hard we've worked to get there is really amazing.
So environment, I would have to say coaching staff. We have a coaching staff that is so professional, and they are very big on the details, and that has not always been the case in my past. The culture here is very much elite. We do everything elite. Everything's top notch. I've not always had that. And just the will to win. The players that I'm surrounded by every day, just, it's crazy when I see Stewie coming down in transition and she's running the point. Like, I'm like, what is going on? Like, you just never know what you're going to get offensively, and it's just so fun, and it keeps you on your toes. And like, I truly love playing with this group every single day. Like, it's been the biggest blessing. So like, this whole team is amazing. Being here is amazing. And granted, if I didn't have the things that I had in the past, I wouldn't be here today. So I'm still very thankful for that entire process. But like, I am so blessed to be with the Liberty.
I wanted to ask about one more of those players, Sabrina.
Go ahead. Just go ahead.
It's the wrong question to ask now. But, you know, she hits a 3 to kind of cap off the run.
Yeah.
Call timeout. She's really screaming at the crowd.
Yeah.
Very outwardly competitive and unique in some of her competitiveness and fire. And she's 1 of 9. Hits a bunch of big shots.
Yeah.
What have you maybe learned from being her teammate like that? Maybe you didn't know before, just your experience with her specifically.
And you know what's funny? Me and Tosh used to talk about this. Before I was ever even like close to Sabrina, she would ask me how I was doing during my injuries. And like, even when I was not playing in the league at all, I didn't even know if she even knew me. So she would check in on me. during her big moments. So I just was like, I had a lot of respect for Sav. So being here already, I was already like a fan of Sav, but her competitiveness, it just doesn't let us get lax. It makes us play even harder. And I don't know if y'all noticed, but Sav's passes tonight helped us open up a lot of shots. And obviously she's a scorer, but when she's also getting everybody else involved, she is so like efficient when she does that. But her competitiveness is just so fiery, especially when she got that offensive foul against AB tonight. That girl is she's over everything. I love her passion and her will to win on every single play, and I can't speak highly enough of Sabrina. JK, what is going on? Stop this. Don't encourage her.
You more.
This is the best you've felt since when, would you say?
Hey, girl. Thank you. Ever. Like, quite simply, this is like the best I've felt since ever. Like, I remember my Dallas days were really great because I've had like a really amazing team, but obviously those games were hard. We had some tough moments, but I just think right now it's just like I'm so happy where I am. I don't want to get emotional, but I'm really, really blessed to be here.
Building off of that, Natasha actually mentioned how much you've worked with the player performance staff and how they really have helped you get confident and take off the brace. I guess I just want to know, specifically how have they helped you through that process?
Yeah, honestly, I started off the year in a brace as well, and I went a whole year going overseas, being in Chicago with it, and it limited me so much. And obviously I needed it, so I didn't hate it, but it definitely, I feel like it was holding me back in a way. But once I got here with Leslie, she's been like my lifesaver. She's been able to help me get out the brace, and I'm so thankful when I see her every day because my deficiencies are down. I feel so strong when I'm out there playing. I trust my body. Even when I got hurt on that play, I don't think I would have made it out of there if my legs weren't so strong. Truly, I think it could have been way worse. So like, all in all, I'm just happy with just everything here. I'm so happy. I can't say it enough.
Hey, Izzy, this is you mentioned the coaching staff before. It's your second stint with Sandy. Is there anything she does different than the other coach in her routine, how she's structured? Is there any differences you've seen her and other coaches?
I just feel like Sandy's a real player coach. Obviously, she played before, and she was my coach my rookie year. So, like, I see a lot of the same stuff, but a completely different Sandy. It's crazy. She's way more assertive now, and, like, her X's and O's, like she's on it whenever we're in timeouts. So I really appreciate that. But she's very vocal and she knows when to plug people in when we need it. And I know she's been heavily relying on me. So obviously, like, I'm here because of Sandy. So I'm just showing her she made a good decision.
We'll finish with Tosh.
I have a question. No, this is a serious question, so I don't need you to get your stuff right. And I don't need you to talk about it. Can you tell us why the Lupus Foundation is so important to you and what you're playing for right now?
Great question, Tosh. I'm playing for the Lupus Foundation of America because of my brother, Daniel Harrison. I didn't get to do too much in Indy because I was in the hospital with him, but obviously I made sure I showed up for your big moment, Tosh. But a lot of time I spent in the hospital with my brother Daniel because, again, he's looking for a kidney transplant. He's been on the wait list for like 4 years now, and he's really having a really hard time. So I just really spread awareness about lupus. It kind of runs in my family. I lost my sister in 2017 to lupus, so I just want to do everything I can to get him the resources that he needs to live a quality life because he deserves it. So,
Well, talk to us a little bit about how she was really pouring into you, throughout this game and, saying like, I'll get you open on a screen and things like that. I guess I'm just curious if you can take us through. Obviously, we see what JJ does and what she's able to do, but just that leadership that she's able to give to everyone on the team.
Yeah, well, it's huge. I mean, I think she's been able to watch for a while, and I think that's helped her become just an even better leader. You almost have like a different perspective when you're on the bench watching how your teammates, act to certain things, how they're guarded, what actions are open, what's not. And so I think it's given her she's used her time away, obviously, to get back healthy, but also to just understand how her leadership really helps us. And I think she was able to see if she didn't already know her worth on this team, I think it showed even more and shined, her absence. She felt it, like she knew. And I think for us, it was like, whether you're on the bench or playing, we need that leadership. And so super happy to be able to see how she's just continued to grow into that with her first game back. I feel like she didn't really miss a beat, and it's tough to do with being out for so long.
Sabrina, on that note, Jonquel said before the fourth quarter, even amidst your early struggle, she said you were going to be the, quote, nail in the coffin. So what does it mean to have that confidence in a fellow elite athlete and a fellow elite leader like Jonquel?
Yeah, I mean, it means a lot. We've played together for a few years now, so she always kind of has that good intuition of knowing when something's about to come. So obviously super, happy that she kind of was able to talk me through it and believe in me, especially when I wasn't shooting the ball well, to be able to see a few go through and kind of be able to take off when we needed it.
You mentioned JJ, she's back healthy. Izzy's playing well off the bench. Sandy expects Niara to be back on Friday. Just what's it like to have a healthy Liberty team again?
Yeah, I mean, we're really good when we're all healthy and able to be on the court together, and it's exciting. It's exciting for us. I think we've been waiting for this moment for a while, and obviously we're going to hit adversity at other parts of the season, and I think it's just helped us. Like, we understand what we need to do when players go, are in and out, or players are struggling to score, how to help one another, because we've been able to go through it. And so obviously we're super excited for her to be back healthy, because I'm not sure how many games we've lost with, with her on the court. I don't know if none. Okay. Yeah. So we got to keep her on the court.
Going in the fourth quarter, the start of your, few buckets, JJ sets a little step-up screen in transition, and you hit a bunch of shots. What does JJ as a screener, as pick-and-roll partner, just mean for you kind of specifically on offense?
I mean, they don't switch, so because she's a 5. So obviously their coverage was switch 1 through 4, try and keep us in front. Because sometimes they go small on Stewie and switch on the guard, but with JJ you can't switch. So for me, obviously, being able to get those screens, I think I came down, hit her on a cross-court pass for a 3, and then it just kind of trickles in understanding how she spaces the floor as a shooter. She doesn't always need to roll. She can pop, shoot the 3 really well, but also she's just a great screener. And so for us, continuing to build that chemistry and, being able to see a few go in, obviously, is great as well.
Sabrina, I know you guys fielded a lot of questions this morning about Emma, but just what was your reaction to the news that she was joining Liberty?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I knew it wasn't a decision that was made without me knowing. So very, happy that the world was kind of finally able to hear, and I think it also, speaks highly of our front office and how they continue to work to bring the right pieces here, and understanding it's like longevity. Like, we want to build a legacy here as one of the best teams and bring in many championships, not just one. And that means we got to bring in the right pieces, the right people, the right basketball players. And so I'm excited for her to get here and for us to be able to kind of build chemistry together.
And then obviously she's a champion, she's a pro, but what is the challenge of integrating a player, regardless of who it is, late in the season when you're on a championship run like you guys are?
Yeah, I mean, it's just figuring out how she fits and where she fits, and I think we have a pretty good understanding of that. It's just going to be able to get her here, understanding our terminology, our offense. Obviously, she's pretty familiar with the system in terms of Sandy and Olaf, and played with a few of our players. So I don't really foresee it to be too difficult just because of the type of player that she is. And so, obviously we'll have to over communicate and, try and get her up to speed as fast as we can. But the good thing is we have some time. It's not too late in the year.
What have you thought about?
Staying on the new additions real quick. Obviously, Steph only played about 4 minutes, but 3 turnovers. And I noticed when she was coming back to the bench, you kind of like just letting her know that it was going to be okay. So just want to speak about you stepping into your leadership role. What did you tell her, and how much are you just tapping into that leadership role of yours?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. Like, there's a lot of pressure on her and even Emma and any kind of new addition to this team who hasn't had training camp and time to be able to get familiar with the offense, what they need to do. And so for her to just get thrown out there and in front of a crowd that we had tonight, the team that we were playing, and is not easy for anyone. And so kind of just told her, forget about that. Just continue to be aggressive and play as hard as you can, and don't worry about the first game. It's always going to be tough, but we're excited for her to kind of get her feet under her, and we obviously know what she brings and how she's going to help us.
The player that Izzy was at the start of the season is not who she's been over this last recent stretch. Just what have you thought about her evolution within the offense and just kind of finding that comfortability and knowing where her spots are?
I mean, she's honestly been one of the best teammates I've ever had. She's just a pro's pro, and from the beginning, whether she was playing no minutes or to now playing a lot of minutes, she's just stayed consistent in her work ethic, her leadership, how she continues to unite us and be a voice in the locker room, especially for the bench players. Like, she's kind of owned that role, and knowing that's what we need her to do is make sure that she kind of is able to be that bench player that comes in every night and ready. No matter when your number is called, you're ready. And she's done it. Like, she's worked herself into a great role and great spot for us. And I think you're able to see how we've all built such a good relationship with her as well. Like, I have a great relationship with her now on the court, and knowing like where she needs to be, how to set the screen, the passes that are coming when I'm not looking at her, they're still coming to her. And I think she kind of understands that now. And so it's fun. Like, that's the part of this that is exciting, especially with the new pieces, is building chemistry together and then being able to see how it translates on the court.
It seems like, I mean, you said that you've played with JJ for now, I guess this is the third year. It just looks like when you're able to find her in those spots, I guess how much of it is just muscle memory of just being able to sort of really click back into what you were doing.
Yeah, you kind of just pick up where you left off. There's no, at least for me, kind of being the point guard that usually is the one that gets her the ball. It's kind of like, riding a bike. It's just, you understand where the ball needs to go. I know the spots she likes. I know, where she wants the ball, how to get it to her. I wasn't even looking on that pass, and she knew it was coming to her. And so it's just fun when you're able to build chemistry with someone for a few years, and then you're able to see how seamless it feels, especially when they've been out for a while. And we haven't even played together that long. So I think it is exciting to see what the future has, in store for us as a team.
Thanks, Evan.
You had a question. Go ahead.
Oh,
you had one more.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
So Caitlin Clark's second season is somewhat similar to yours. Great start, interrupted by injuries, trying to put her franchise on the right track. While there are no doubt some differences, what's the best thing that 2021 Sab can tell 2025 Clark?
Yeah, I mean, actually, that's something that I told her. Obviously completely different injuries in terms of, how long I was out for. And, I didn't really have a rookie year, but I told her I had similar situation, and coming back, I had 4 soft tissue injuries that next year that a lot of people didn't know about. I played through 2 calves and 2 hamstrings, and kind of just tried to play through it and didn't say anything. And it's kind of similar when you don't go through any injury early on in your career, you have no idea how to maneuver it. And that's something I was able to talk to her about at All-Star, is you almost sometimes have to go through it to be able to understand like what your body needs, and you're able to tell like what you can play through and what you can't, and just set yourself up with the right team of trainers and training, and knowing the off season's long, and you got to be able to kind of know what your body needs to get ready for the season. And so I told her, although it sucks now, it's going to be a blessing in disguise, and you just have to stay positive about it, knowing you're going to become a better player and better person from it.
That second half, you guys outscore them 56 to 38, and on the night you shoot 55, 52, 95 as a team. Just how much did that defense generate your offense to help you pull away in that second half?
Yeah, I mean, I think that we weren't really happy with the way that we started in the first half, and we knew we had an opportunity to turn it around. So really getting up to touch on everything, making higher pickup points, but also, understanding, like, even the last game against Indy, we won by whatever we won by, and we only had 6 deflections, like that's a problem, and wanting to kind of create more in the second half and get our offense going.
Breanna, coming out of the All-Star game with all the buzz that was coming out of that, including obviously around the CBA talks, to come back in here and the place is packed again and going nuts, to know the impact that the fans have had, maybe even had on the CBA talks by what they did in Indiana. What's that mean to you?
Yeah, it means a lot. And I think like the fans having our backs and supporting us and chanting to pay them after the All-Star game was over, that was probably the biggest success of the weekend. because it just shows like how much they care about what we're doing and how much they're going to be behind us 110% as we continue to stand strong and keep fighting for what we deserve.
For those of us who also cover soccer,
Yeah.
and Megan obviously is here a lot.
Yep.
You know her very well.
Yep.
You know what she went through in 2019. Have you talked with her at all? Do you look to what they? I mean, you guys obviously have your own fight. Have you spoken with her? Look to what they did to help with this?
Yeah, I mean, I think that'll probably be like my next conversation after the next meeting, the end of July. But honestly, like even the way the NWSL like last year has completely changed and shifted their CBA, it changed the landscape of the sport, and that's what we're trying to do, is change the landscape of the WNBA of women's basketball. So then thereafter, it creates like a standard for all the other leagues.
Breanna, Unrivaled's social media channel stated that 35% of its players, including Sabrina Ionescu, are averaging career best in scoring. So what does a stat like that mean to you? And what benefits have you seen in the halfway through the first post-Unrivaled season?
Yeah, I mean, I think having Unrivaled is a great opportunity for everyone to come together to play, but also to work on their games, get their bodies right, things like that, where we're not taxing, grinding, playing, traveling, all those things. Like, you're just able to kind of get better. And you see that with people playing better, people scoring more, shooting, whatever, assisting, whatever the case may be, like throughout all the stats. I think, almost all the players that went to Unrivaled are having a pretty good season.
Stewie, with the two new players coming in, Steph and Emma, a lot of people talk about, they're the right players, but they're also the right people to come into this organization. Just how important is that to have not only the right players, but the right people in this organization?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's got to be incredibly difficult to come into a team halfway through, and both are different situations. Steph was waived and we picked her up, and I played with Steph in Seattle, and she's super unselfish and really will do whatever she needs to for the team, so I'm happy that she's here. And the same with Emma. She's has a high basketball IQ, is someone that loves the game but also appreciates the people around her and makes sure that she's able to be in an environment where she can be herself. So I'm happy that she's going to come too. I don't know when she's coming, but hopefully soon. And it'll be cool. No, I didn't have one. Not really. Not really. But yeah, I'm excited for Emma to come. Dang. I reached out to her a while ago, but it was in the middle of Eurobasket, so I'm not surprised that it's taken her a while to get back, but I know that she's excited.
You've been in the league a minute.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, I've been covering the league.
This is only my ninth season.
I just mean you have experience. How unique is a situation like this? A player of Emma's caliber. Yeah. I mean, she obviously wasn't playing, but just getting picked up mid-season.
I mean, I think it's an amazing opportunity for us. I think it's going to be really cool for New York to have a player like Emma come in and just see the way that she reads and reacts to the game. And honestly, like I didn't think it was possible, but somehow we were able to get her. We were able to get Steph. Like Jonathan has been doing a hell of a job, and I'm just excited for our team to kind of be full and be complete, and we just really get after it.
How much do you think by adding that depth to the front court, and even Izzy's really found her place and is very comfortable out there in Niara when she is healthy, is able to play, kind of also allows maybe like you and JJ and stuff to play a little bit less minutes so you can be fresher once playoffs come around.
Yeah, absolutely. Didn't happen tonight, but I'm hoping it'll happen
maybe in
the future. I think it's important. Like the depth is really going to be the reason why you can make a playoff push, like why you can win, because your starters are going to do what your starters do. But it's like the X factors are the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th women on the bench and really the impact that they can make. And I think for us, like the group we have, we continue to like uplift and give players confidence and know that, when your number's called, they're going to be ready. And this team is unselfish in that way and know that it can be anybody's night. Whoa. Hello.
Stewie, how would you describe JJ's performance tonight? And I guess what does it mean for this team moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, obviously great to have JJ back. I think that she was itching to get back on the court, especially, all of last week. But just happy for her to be like feeling good physically, mentally. Sometimes injuries are tough after you've like re-injured it again. And I could just see like her joy of playing and having somebody that's obviously has the size but able to stretch and space the floor is a difference maker. And she's one of our anchors, so obviously it's great to have her back.
A few more? Just going back to the fan support as you guys are going through the CBA thing. Two celebrities in the building tonight showed their support, saying yesterday's price is not today's price. Obviously, Fat Joe and Remy Ma spoke about it. What does it mean to you to have that kind of support, not only from celebrities, and what can fans do to kind of help the players as they go through the CBA?
Yeah, I mean, the fact that Fat Joe and Remy Ma were here was really cool. But what's even cooler is the fact that, they're telling people to kind of understand and value our worth. We say it and we're fighting for it, but when other people do it, it means a lot more, and especially when you have different platforms. So that's kind of incredible. And I think from the fans' perspective, they can just continue to stay involved, whether it's them kind of doing it on social media or just paying attention to what's happening. Nothing is going to change overnight. Like, this is going to be probably a little bit of a drawn out situation, but just keep supporting us because we got to do both right now, on and off the court.
Yeah, besides Natasha and Courtney, who was the person that made you laugh most this All-Star weekend out there?
I don't know. Honestly, Marta was a vibe. Marta was living her best life in Indy, so. And Ellie, yeah. I wasn't messing with any of the other mascots.
You guys have had success with the three big lineup, most notably obviously in Game 5. But like even this season, you guys have had in different ways success in that. I mean, just I guess building off of, I know we've asked a lot of questions about Emma, but the potential different lineups, a lot of flexibility that you guys have, and how that can be even more lethal.
Yeah, no, I think it's like the potential can be like endless, and the way that we're able to play with the big lineup that you see tonight, and the fact that it can actually get even bigger is crazy. And it's just about making sure the ball doesn't stop. Like, that's why it works. It's because people can play in different spots, but we're trusting and reading and react what's happening and giving people their space to play their best.
Finisher Moss.
Breanna, you talk about the way that the CBA negotiations have gotten very public. How have you, in your time in the WNBA, seen that conversation shift? Because there are always a lot of bad faith actors around this space, but now it feels like we're starting to see more people on the side of the players here.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's really it. Is probably in my in the CBA before, the most recent one, it wasn't as public. It wasn't as much involvement, even from the player perspective. Like, a lot of it kind of was up to the people on the ECs and the player reps and things like that. But I think now it's, we're in such a pivotal moment that we don't want to mess it up. And you could look at the last CBA and be like, well, we got some good things, but we actually agreed to a lot of things that we don't like. And making sure that doesn't happen again. And not being like demonstrative about it when we're being vocal, but just letting people know where we're at and keeping everyone else as involved as we are.